Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, August 3rd, and today we will talk about the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, and MSTY. But first, I guess I'm going to do this every Saturday. If you don't mind, if you enjoy this content, please always remember to hit the thumbs up, aka like button. It does go a long way. When I did the reminder in the beginning of the video last Saturday, I actually almost hit, I just checked, I almost hit 1,000 likes, which is pretty amazing. So I'm hoping that maybe this one we can actually hit, over 1,000 likes before next week. So let's see how far we can go with that. Obviously, if you don't enjoy this content and you're just watching, then that's fine too, I guess. But either way, let's get moving. So a lot of trades yesterday, man. Oof. So as you can see, TSLY, we got NVDY, we got CONY, and we got MSTY. And I'll do my best to do this as fast as possible because I know these videos have been getting a little too long sometimes. So let's just, I'll try again. This is not the educational version of the daily holding video. This is just covering the trades. So real quick, BC, by the close, they closed out their weekly calls. You can see they paid a penny to the right, solid. And then they sold a call, 8-9, 8-9 expiration next week. And then they BC'd another one for a penny, and then they sold another call for the following week. So basically, they closed out the weeklies and they sold calls for $220 for next week. But we'll show what the data looks like on the spreadsheet. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in the garage today for some reason. Let's see. All right, so this synthetic is long gone, right? So we're sitting now on two synthetics. A 260 expires August 16th, and a 265 expires August 16th. Both of which are not very profitable at the moment, so hopefully things change. The market has been awful. So yesterday, Tesla went down 4.24%. TSLY went down a little more, actually, 4.45%. So let's take a look what happened. All right, so here you could see they won their weekly calls. So that's, the idea of selling calls, it's a bearish play. So we're in a bearish market right now. So clearly, selling calls is the right strategy. So you can see on all of these, they basically, the call debit, that's how much they paid to close it. But in the end, it was a profit of almost 10 million for all the contracts from last week, and they yielded anywhere from 47 to 72%. So again, solid wins. So we have to be grateful for that. Yes, obviously the price of TSLY is going down because the synthetic position tracks the movement, of Tesla. So, but at the same time, we are making premium at, even though it's going down. Obviously, we are capturing basically the full upside of all the premium that we got up front. Now for next week, they have obviously an 8-9 expiration, 5 full trading days. What do we got? So they already had the 232.50 from the day prior. So we'll just look at this. They basically have about 34,000 contracts, 220 strike, 5.94% out of the money. That's a yield of 56%, comparable to their 30-day IV of 57%. So it kind of makes sense. And then obviously they have the other position, smaller, only 560 contracts, but it's already almost 12% out of the money. So again, we'll see how next week recovers. The problem is, and I mentioned this in the Discord yesterday, I'm kind of worried when the market tanks this bad, and it happens, of course, we end the Friday on that, because then we're going to sell calls, on the Friday. But what if the recovery all happens next week? We're going to get, kind of going to get blown through, right? Our strikes, because we're only 5% out of the money, for example, now on TSLY for Tesla. And if they recover 10% next week, all right, we're going to lose out on 5, right? So that will suck, but time will tell. That's the downside of these funds. So outstanding shares, no movement. So the recap is we got 30-day IV, 57%. That's a good number there, though. Outstanding shares, 50,500,000. They have lost about 14.3 million in total, though, for the weeklies. So, overall, for the month, they're not profitable on the weeklies, even though they had a successful week this week. The reaction is, they're happy, smirking. I don't even think I updated the reaction, to be honest, but they're still happy, smirking, because they did win. Synthetic income, 127 mil. Take out the short call loss, they have a net income of 113 million. That comes to about $2.24 per share. So this is the number I'm going to use when I figure out how much I think they're going to pay on the estimate. So if I take that number and then I look at last month, okay, they paid $1. All right, so what are they going to pay? They're going to pay $2. They're going to pay $1. They're going to pay $1.50. I don't know. I haven't given it much thought. I was too busy plugging in all these damn trades. So I'll try to get that video out today or tomorrow, which will be obviously for the YieldMax estimates. If you're impatient and you can't wait for me, I'm sure someone else already made the video, so go check them out. All right, outstanding holdings. What do we got? So in pink, obviously synthetic put. In orange, synthetic call. But again, I'm going to leave that alone for now. Yes, it's in danger, but we'll talk about it later. And then they have these two calls heading into next week. We'll see how it plays out. But the net asset value of this fund is 727 mil. The NAV is 1440, unfortunately, and the trade price is 1437. So yeah, TSLY price going down a little bit. So, but the whole freaking market is going down, to be honest. All right. NVIDIA's a problem, to be honest. NVIDIA, either I screwed up or YieldMax screwed up. And I can't tell. If any of you guys know what happened to the 127 synthetic, please let me know. I'll show you what happened when I get to it. But so the trades here, what it shows is, okay, buy call, sell put, sell call, top three, right? Adding 1,200 contracts to this synthetic position and then adding them to the weekly calls. That's simple. And then all the BCs, there's 4 BCs in a row. They paid a penny. So they closed out the weeklies at a penny. No brainer. That's a win. And then they used all those contracts and they sold a call into next week. One strike, $115. Simple. All right, let's get to the NVDY file. So here's the 127, right? So I have 21,945 contracts on the 127. I don't show that they ever closed this, right? I show they closed 21,000 on 731, but either they did this on 730 or they just didn't track it, because 730 I didn't show any trades for NVIDIA, but again, I could have missed it. If any of you know, please let me know. If you have the trades, please send them to me. It would be greatly appreciated. I did email Jay. Hopefully he can get back to me, but it's unusual that I would miss this, to be honest, but and I don't think I did miss it, to be honest, but I don't know what happened. So what they're showing on their holdings is everything is now under the 115, but I'm only showing 62,000 on the 115, right? If I fast forward to holdings, if you go on the top, they have 84,290 contracts on the 115, but I'm not seeing that. So my numbers right now, what I'm covering, do not reflect the change from the 127 synthetic to the 115. So keep that in mind. All right. All right. So from the trades, we saw they added 1,200 contracts to the 115 though, and they got a credit of about $1 million for that, because that would mean the price of Nvidia is below the strike of this synthetic, which is fine because this one expires in 49 days. So. And again, we know the market's red, so nothing we could do on that. How did Nvidia do yesterday in the blood red market? They went down 1.78%. Nvidia went down 1.68%. Okay, not terrible. Now, obviously, they paid a penny, right? They paid a penny to close out the position. So as much as we track these day in and day out, we have to look at this and be like, hell to the yeah. We freaking won. What's a penny? Well, a penny is what they have to pay, right? Because they're going to cash settle these. They can't let them expire, right? Because, number one, they don't want to get assigned. Not like these were going to get assigned. But number two, they want to use these contracts right away and sell calls into next week, take advantage of the time, time value premium over the weekend. So they're going to close it out, and the minimum that they have to pay typically is a penny. So these are obviously, that's the best price you can get to close out these damn contracts. Now, what did they pay to close it? Like I said, essentially nothing, $80,000. So if you look at the profit loss column, again, we have to celebrate the wins, right? So they made almost 12 million essentially, right? Almost 12 million bucks for the week. And if you look at the annualized yield, they yielded anywhere from 53 to 96%. So again, this is the reason why you invest in these funds, because they go down with the underlying, of course, because that's what the synthetic is there for, right? However, they're making premium on the way down, right? Because if you sell calls, that's a bearish play. And if the underlying goes down when you sell calls, you collect the premium, your contract doesn't get assigned, and you just make money. Okay, so now the new positions. Here we go. So they added the 1,200 contracts. We saw that. And then they used all of the ones that they closed, 83,090 contracts, to open the position there. But it looks like, they decided, okay, 115 sounds good. All right, we'll just use one strike. And that's what they did. 7.21% out of the money. Is it aggressive? Let's see. Their annualized yield on that is 61 to 66%. Their 30-day IV is 82. Holy crap, 82%. Man, they've been volatile. Damn. Well, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, so this was not aggressive, actually. This was very, very gentle. They could have went a little more aggressive. So 7.21% out of the money. I guess we should be grateful we got that, because again, next week could be the week of recovering from this disaster week. I feel like the last 2 weeks were disasters, but we'll see, man. We'll see. We may just get blown through on all of our calls next week, or we may have more of the same, right? Either way, it doesn't really matter, right? The month is pretty done. The estimates are going to be done, and we're going to see what we're going to get paid. So what do we got for outstanding shares? 275,000 share increase. That's good. Because NVIDIA's on a discount, man. This is a discount. How much is it? It's $24.65. You kidding me? That's a steal. 30-day IV, like I said, 82%. Outstanding shares, 36.9 mil. Total net income from the weekly calls, $51 million. Good job, NVIDIA, whatever your name is. Distribution, 138. Daily income, 4 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.82%. Annualized yield from the weekly calls, 66%. Yes, of course, they have technically like one more trading day before they do the declaration, but let's just call it 66% for the month. That is a win. So the GOAT, yes, is still the GOAT. The GOAT is winning. Reaction, yeah, smiles all around, man. Again, as shitty as this market is, selling calls, the selling call strategy is obviously being very successful here. Short call income, we'll take a look at that alone, because they did not really, they lost money on their synthetic for the month. So we're looking at 51 mil, right? Short call income. So if you take that, you plug it in to how much they made per share. It's about $1.38. Of course, there's a few days left. So if I plug it in here, it comes to $1.52. So what's their estimate going to be? It's not $2. That is for damn sure. But so I'll say in the mid-dollar range. But like I said, I haven't really thought too much about it. I'll plug in the numbers later. So yeah, here's the problem. Outstanding holdings. It's showing the 115 synthetic, and that's it. The 127 is missing. So yeah, like I said, I'll figure it out. If I do figure it out, if the trade is tracked somewhere, if I get the data, I'll recap it in the next video, and I'll plug it in, obviously, and the numbers are going to change. But I'm just going to use what I have now for the month as far as these estimates, unless I get it before that. But again, as of right now, they're just showing the 115 synthetic. So I guess that, we have to trust what the holdings are. And then they also have the one call, which that's true, the 115, which I did not highlight, by the way, because I was just so pissed off about the freaking holdings. Again, if there's one mistake from one day, it screws up the entire thing, which sucks. So I did make a note here. When did this synthetic 127 close? So like I said, if any of you you guys track this information out there, let me know if you caught it. I don't have time to, really. I know other people cover this stuff, but unfortunately, I don't have time to watch all the videos to see what they have. All right, the net asset value, 904.3 mil. The NAV is 24.51, and the trade price is 24.65. So, not bad. Still above my cost basis, though. All right, let's go to the next one. CONY, BC, buy to close. Okay, they closed out the weeklies. SS, short sell. All right, they sold calls into next week. Boom, easy enough. They actually chose two strikes, though. 217.50, 220. All right. See, I told you I'd be quick. Let's get to the spreadsheet. Boom, 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 boom. What do they got? How many synthetics? They got a 250. Expires 816. Oh, yep, in danger. 210. Expires 920. Not in danger. Now, they didn't do anything to the synthetics, so let's just skip right through. How did Coin do yesterday? Well, you guessed it. Crappy. It was down 3.86%, and CONY was down 2.57%. CONY in $17 range. It did hit 16 yesterday. I did see that, but woohoo. Damn, taking a whooping. But is what it is. But let's see. Let's celebrate the wins up here. Penny, baby. Penny. How much you pay to close yours? Penny. So I won. How much did they pay overall? Let's see. Call debit. Nothing, right? 160,000 something. So the profit was what, like 13, 14 mil? Again, a successful win. So let's be grateful. What did they yield? 83 to 100. One of them is 153%. That's what they're yielding on your money. That was a small portion of it, but still. Again, it's good stuff, man. People, they don't like to trade options themselves, so investing in these funds, they let the fund managers do it. So, again, yes, the market's red. Everything sucks. Everything's down. But they're making money selling calls. Look at the bright side here. Okay, so let's look at the trades for next week. We covered the ones from 8-1. So look, it's 8-2. 8,000 contracts at 217.50, 6.39% out of the money. 8,350 contracts, 220 strike, 7.61% out of the money. Okay, that's tight. Of course, if it's recovered for sure, but what's it annualized at? Let's take a look at that. 85 to 97%. Their 30-day IV is 76%. So yeah, I'd say a little on the aggressive side. However, they did have other trades from the other day. Let's take a look at those. These are sitting at, two different strikes. So overall, they got scattered strikes. So they have 750 contracts, 230 strike, 12.5% out of the money. That's good. 15,000, largest position, 15,800 contracts, highest strike price too, 232.50, 13.73% out of the money. So I think CONY is well positioned to handle next week. Of course, coin can go up 20% next week. But again, if they go up 20%, at least we'll capture a lot of the upside based on how far out of the money some of these calls are. Now, outstanding shares, no movement, so nothing to report there. So we'll just go right to the recap. We got a 30-day IV. We talked about it, 76%. Outstanding shares for this one, 40,125,000. Overall, though, for the weekly calls for the month, they did report a loss of 20.4 mil. But the reaction is, again, smiles around. Nothing but wins here. Paying pennies to close out. However, they're also happy because July is almost over. And they can have a fresh month in August and start making some damn income. Because they have synthetic loss, 39 million. They have short call loss, 20 million. Net loss of 59 million. Again, they're going to pay you. Yes, of course they're going to pay you, even though technically I'm not showing any taxable income, but they will pay you. What will they pay you is the question, of course. Could they pay you $1.57, $1.69, $2.28? I think it's going to be below the last dollar, the last one, $1.57. I don't know. I have to see what, let's see like what $1.40 yields when we plug it in the spreadsheet, things like that. $1.30, even less than $1. Probably not less than $1, but you never know. But like I said, that's a separate video for a separate time. Outstanding holdings for CONY. Again, we're not really going to harp on the synthetic for this video. Too much going on. And then we got, obviously, all the calls for next week. Scattered strikes. 4 different strike prices. So we are ready. CONY holders are ready. All right, so the net asset value, 681 mil. The NAV is 1698. And the trade price is 1704. Okay? So let's move on to last but not least, MSTY. All right, so what do we got? Buy call, sell put. All right, and no sell call. Wow, look at that. Usually you see 3, so it looks like they waited and they threw it all on the bottom with the others. So let's so yeah, we have what, 25.35 plus 125. What's that? 26.60 plus 30, 26.90. Yep, okay. So yeah, they added 30 to the synthetic. They closed out the weeklies. This time, they paid 10 cents, all right? They didn't pay a penny. You know why? Because MSTR, their implied volatility is insane. So even if they got down to the wire, the time cost, the premium cost, will it ever be a penny from, for an MSTR contract? Who the hell knows? They're so damn volatile that, the premium both ways, obviously, closing and opening positions is just massive. So if they pay 10 cents to close a weekly call, that is just as good as a penny on the other. So we have to be like hell to the yeah here too. All right, and obviously on the way bottom, they sold a call into next week, 1,600. Look at that premium, $26.30 per share, unbelievable. All right, so things will change though, because they had the 10-for-1 reverse split effective very soon, so get ready. We will have more contracts, though. All right, MSTY. You hear the birds? They're ready. I need to go for a run, actually. 20, yeah, everything's in the 1550. They did add to this, I believe. Here we go, 30 contracts. And they made a pretty penny, right? Couple 100,000. That's good, because obviously they are priced below their synthetic strike. We got a lot of notes here. 10-for-1 forward split was, essentially, I thought it was effective 8-1, but effective 8-7. Whatever, I don't care. It's going to be done on 8-7. Estimated earnings date 8-6. I assume that's still accurate. If it is, it's next week. Crap. Okay, have to consider that now when I'm looking at these calls. But again, I wrote down these dates so early on. I have to make sure, if anyone knows if the date changed, please let me know in the comments. But, I try to get these in advance because they do post an estimated earnings date. All right, either way, let's move on. Let's see how the July tab went. All right, blood day. What do we do, MSTR? 4.22% down. Okay. MSTY, what do we do? 3.73% down. Is 2681 a discount on MSTY? Possibly. The more I think about, the power of this fund is really amazing. I mean, yes, I'm one of those people that hasn't bought it because it's just too volatile for me. But the power of the IV is truly amazing. Like you could see, this fund has just been, the price just stays so consistently high in good, bad, or whatever. So if their IV stays around this, like the 90% range, it may be truly, it may take over the GOAT spot at some point, because although right now Nvidia is also volatile, so they got some income popping in, not plopping in, but you get what I'm saying. So if MSTR is always going to be this volatile, then this may be the fund, man. I don't know. I got to reconsider. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the closeouts. They pay 10 cents each, which essentially, $26,000, whoopie-doo. But look at the profit. They basically made $25 million last week. They took everyone's money, they sold calls, and they made $25 million with everyone's money. Okay? This is why you invest in these funds, right? They make premium for you. Yes, some weeks they lose money, some weeks they make money. But again, that was it. Last week they won, right? They won. Look at the annualized yield, column P, 177%, 288%. That's essentially what they yielded on your money on an annualized basis. Now, they took all the contracts, they closed out, they took all of them. They said, okay, here's 2,690 contracts. We're going to choose a $1,600 strike price. 10.5% out of the money with earnings. Oof. That's, I don't know, that's not enough for me. What's that yield? 94%. IV is 91%. Okay, so I guess I get it. But still, I'm not so, if they have really good earnings and it's recovery week, this 10% is gone, blown through the water. But at the same time, if they blow through the 10%, at least as an MSTY holder, you're going to gain the 10%, right? And then obviously the synthetic is going to carry some weight too. There's going to be some recovery on top of that, but again, not as much if they went 20% out of the money. So, but we'll see into next week. Outstanding shares, I did not update. Okay, that's weak. What do I got? 15,375. Oh, yep, so it did go up. 15,375. 1, 2, 3. And then we go here. Copy that. It's a formula. Paste that right there. So we got, oh yeah, whoopee-doo, $50,000, not dollar, 50,000 share increase. All right, so 30-day IV, 91%. Outstanding shares, 15,375,000. Almost income, but still sitting at a loss for the weeklies at 3.9 mil. But the reaction, like I said, everyone's happy. Everyone's smiling. Just winning the weekly calls. Now, what's July look like? It kind of looks like shit, to be honest. But they do have synthetic income, 5.4 mil. Let's deduct out the short call loss. There's a total net income of $1.4 million. That's a total net income per share of 10 cents per share. So you will get paid 10 cents this month. No, I'm just kidding. So obviously, yes, they're going to pay much more than that. They're going to pay, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not going to be $2. I don't think so. I would say the high dollar range. But again, I haven't run the numbers, but if for those of you that are impatient, I'm just giving you basic thoughts here. In blue, we got the weeklies. So all eggs in one basket, one strike price. And then in pink, they separate out the puts for the synthetic. For whatever reason, one could be non-flex exchange. I believe Jay mentioned that in a previous video. That could be a reason. I don't know. It's not really a big deal, to be honest. The other one in orange is a call. But again, they expire 8/16. It's coming up. So don't worry. We'll talk about it next week. The net asset value of MSTY is 408.5 mil. The NAV is 26.57. Trade price 26.81. So that is the recap. That is every single fund, every single YieldMax fund that I cover. TSLY, CONY, NVDY, and MSTY. I mean, it turns out that these are the funds to stay. So I guess I'm gonna continue to cover these funds. No plans on really changing it. I haven't heard any complaints actually of, can you get rid of this, add this? So I think people are pretty happy with the current coverage. But if you're not, I'm always up for, suggestions. Obviously, the only other one I hear that I should cover is AMSI, because that one's been pretty steady Eddie for the most part, and it is a good fund. But it's not as popular, right? These are the funds that people like volatility. People like stocks that move. And Nvidia, obviously, at first it was not as popular. Now forget it. It's been flying, and boom. It earned its spot. TSLY, obviously, it's what started it all. So you gotta always do TSLY, and then you got CONY and MSTY, the crypto gang, right? I don't think YBit even touches them. So I think they're still the two. So they're probably not going anywhere. But who knows, man? Who knows? Never say never. Or if I ever retire early, I'll just add more. I'll add more and more and more, right? Or I'll just charge you guys $100 a month and I'll cover every single fund. How's that? Does that sound like a deal? No, I'm just kidding. But, or am I? No, I don't know. Anyway, what do we got here? So, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If you did have fun, please remember to hit the like button, thumbs up, whatever. Punch it right in the damn face, all right? Punch it, punch it, punch it. I know it only goes through once, but sometimes if you hit it enough times, maybe it'll count as 2. But if you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comments. If you know what happened on NVDY, please leave that in the comments, okay? If you have the trades, please send it to me on Discord. Or if you don't have Discord, just if you could somehow send it to me on the YouTube comment or any other way, I don't know. That would be very, appreciative. Although I do have my email link to my YouTube channel, so you can email it to me as well. Whoever does that would be awesome. Definitely throw you a shout out that if you care. But yeah, man, that's all I got. So I guess, yeah, reminder, couple, I do videos on the weekends, obviously. I do the, so coming out today, options trading and swing trading update. You can imagine my swing trading update is not good. Options though, I'm always good on options because I always make sure I have enough money to, save my position. And so I'm fine with options. Good week for that. And then outside of that, I'll do Defiance update. I haven't looked at Defiance, but I would imagine they are getting destroyed, which sucks. But it is what it is. That's the danger. That market like this, those funds are just not going to perform well. Plus they had the reverse split. Oh my God, I just thought about that now. So I gotta update everything. You may not even get a Defiance video this weekend. There's just too much to update because the priority now is the YieldMax estimate. So I will have to do that either today or tomorrow. Obviously I'll launch the video today or tomorrow, and then you guys can let me know what you think. All right, I think that's enough for the day. Let me get this video posted. I have no idea. Actually, let me check what time it is. 5:47, so I do have time. But either way, keyword for today, if you guys made it this far in the video and you wanna prove it, you just had to say a keyword. So I don't know. What do you think? I gotta think of something, right? I guess I'm just gonna say bloodbath, right? That's it. Bloodbath. It's been nothing but a bloodbath, right? Our accounts are all down. I'm sure everyone sees, their capital number. Yes, it's on paper, but still sucks, obviously if you had cash aside, you're like, ooh, hell yeah. Show me, bring it on. But a lot of us, we always put our cash to work right away, which, sometimes it's smart, sometimes it's not. In cases like this, not so smart. So we don't have, we can't invest on the dips as much. The one thing I learned from this recent dip is I do own way too many holdings. So I have made a decision. I have 20 holdings at the moment. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to get rid of 10 holdings because I am overlapping. I am. I have all these index funds, these high income index funds, index based, which is fine. However, I'm not gonna buy everything anymore. I'm gonna buy what works for my strategy, and that's it. Okay, because the reason I noticed it's not good to have like 20 on the dip, I wanted to buy everything yesterday. I wanted to average down on everything, and I can't do that. So it sucks. So it's like eating me alive. So it's more of a mental thing for me personally. So I feel like if I just own, say, 10 funds or even less than 10 funds, then I could be like, okay, I'll just buy a little of this, a little of that. And then, I don't know. Again, it's all in my head probably, but it's just, you do you, and whatever makes you feel good. Hopefully it works. But again, rough week, of course, rough week. But these are income funds. We're still getting paid. Obviously, as these funds go down in value, their yield will stay the same, but the payment amount will likely go down. That's the downside. Hopefully, there's some recovery in the future. And hopefully you're able to buy on these dips, that's the hope. And then we'll be fine in the end. But, if the market just continues to go down and down and down, then it is what it is. Hopefully we have the cash to average down all the way down. And then when it recovers, we can just watch it and go, yay. But anyway, I guess I'll stop yapping. But you already heard the keyword. Keyword is bloodbath. Yes, it's a bloodbath. No, I'm not worried. I'm still buying over and over and over again. But yes, it did make me think a little at least, which is good. Again, you have to adjust your strategy as you go, whatever works for you. My account, it's an emergency income source, right? Which I may actually need very soon because the bills are just, bills be bills, right? But anyway, I got to get out of here. Let me post this video and stay tuned for many videos this weekend. I will do my best. But again, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.